All right, component number three is going to be the email list. And when I say email list, I mean a it's literally a list of subscribers who have given you their information, meaning their usually their name and email, first name and email address. Some cases you don't need to ask for the first name unless you really plan on addressing them by their first name inside your emails. But your list in general is going to be made up mostly of email addresses. These are email addresses that people have given you explicit consent to send them marketing messages. And again, we'll cover all of the technical stuff later on. Luckily, there are all kinds of tools and software out there for us to use that are very, very inexpensive to run this business. And you can run the entire thing for less than $150 a month. A lot of times, even less than that. If you've got, if you've got a way to build websites on your own or whatever, then you can. That's typically the biggest expense in this business is the tools that are out there to build these types of marketing pages that integrate with all of the other tools that we'll be using. So for this specific component, the email component, there's really only one tool that you need online for that. And a lot of times people refer to it as what's called an autoresponder, where somebody enters their name and email address on your website. So again, my horrible drawing of an opt-in page, name, email, and submit usually is what the buttons say by default. Somebody enters their name and email in. What happens behind this page? So, what's going on in the code that is working behind your website? That code is going to pull in that info that person is submitting. And the code itself is actually going to send that data over to your email autoresponder, and that your email autoresponder is going to capture it and save it. And that's what your email list lives inside of the email autoresponder. And it's called an autoresponder because sometimes people will create what's called an autoresponder sequence, where it's a series of emails that get queued up and it gets sent to the person automatically. So let's say, as soon as they opt in, they get email number one. And then 24 hours pass and email number two gets sent out. And then another 24 hours pass and email number three gets sent out, and so on. And you can have as many of these things going as you want. You can set up different time intervals. So maybe in between email number two and three, you want to wait. It's usually set up by days. I just wrote 24 hours just so it'd be easier to understand, but probably not easier. It's usually done by days. So maybe in between email two and three, you would want that to go out like 4 days from now. You want email three to go out 4 days after email two. So these autoresponder sequences can be as small or as big as you want. I've seen autoresponder sequences stretch over the course of 2 years, where people have literally queued up emails in advance to be sent to people over the course of the next 2 years after that person has already subscribed. And that's another benefit of this business model is automation. And the tools that we use, the tools I'm going to be showing you how to use in this course, they exist to automate the business. So one of the things that the email autoresponder does is when somebody opts in on our squeeze page here, you can see right here there I have no delay. So right here there's zero, say 0 seconds really. As soon as somebody opts in, that data gets sent over to your email autoresponder, and the autoresponder knows that they just need to kick out that email, the first email needs to get kicked over and get sent to that person as soon as they opt in, whether it's 1 in the afternoon or 1 in the morning, and you don't have to do anything. It does it for you. You've set it up in advance so that the software knows, hey, if somebody enters their email on and opts into this my squeeze page, I want them to be sent these series of emails. And there's a lot more you can do with these tools than just that. So that's really the biggest thing that I want you to understand with this business model is you're not only just building an email list that you can just manually send what's called broadcast emails out, where at any given time during the day or week you can log into your email autoresponder, type up a quick email that you want to send out, and manually send it, or what's called broadcasting it, to your entire email list. And that's really, one of the biggest benefits of this business is you get both options. You can manually send broadcasts, or you can create sequences that automatically go out. Whether you don't have to do anything, you don't need to manually send anything out, or you can do them both on top of each other. You can put somebody into a 30-day email autoresponder sequence and then send them manual emails maybe once a week with up to date relevant information, something like that. So um, those are really the kind of the big um, the big things to understand with this third component, which is your email list, is that it's an asset that you're physically building, and it is just being stored online for you, and it's being stored inside of a tool that allows you to automate the entire thing. And then at any given time, you can download that entire email list and move it over to another tool, or anything. It's yours. It's not the company's that you. It's not the email autoresponders list. They're not allowed to mail to your list. You're just using their tool to manage your list. And anytime you can leave and go to another email autoresponder service, and they can't stop you. So it's your asset. So that is it for the third component. Um, and in the last video in this module, I'm going to just be going over the basics of how we are actually going to be making money with this business.